Hello friends, this is Kumar and I welcome all of you to my YouTube channel. Friends, today I am here to give a review on IDBI bank exam and I am going to analyze this exam full. I am going to analyze the morning session and the afternoon session of this exam. Kindly watch the full video and give your views about the video. So let us start the video. First of all, let us talk about the pattern of the exam. The pattern of the exam were as follows, there were 50 questions from each part, like 50 questions from reasoning, 50 from English and 50 from quantitative aptitude. So there were 50 questions from each part and you have to answer those 50 questions in 30 minutes. Though the time was not divided, you can take whatever time you want to take in any part. So the time was not divided in each parts like it happens in other exams. So this exam was not divided in parts, though it was divided in parts, but the time was not divided. The time was equal. You can give extra time to English or math or reasoning as well. So that was dependable on you what time you want to spend on a particular topic. Okay, so this was the pattern of the exam. So first of all, let us talk about the reasoning part. The reasoning part was very tough. According to me, the reasoning part was moderate to tough, but I consider it very tough because I come from the English background. I am not expert of banking exam. Okay, so friends, first of all, let me tell you that I'm not the expert of this banking exam. I'm just giving this review as a student. Although I'm student of English language, English literature. But sometimes I give banking exam as well to check my English language knowledge in that particular exam. So I just gave the exam to check my English language knowledge in that particular exam in the banking exam. So coming to the reasoning part was moderate to tough according to me. Though I'm quite good in English. I'm quite good in reasoning, but the reasoning part of this particular exam was very tough. Already I had given SBI's exam, SBI's PO exam and SBI's clerk exam. Their reasoning was normal kind of reasoning and one could attempt those reasoning questions. But in this particular exam, the reasoning was moderate to tough. According to me, it was tough. Considering myself English literature students, I consider it quite tough. And that's why I was not able to answer question in a quick way. So because the questions were very lengthy, there were some questions of seating arrangements, then puzzles, and then there were some basic questions, some number series was also there, and there were some easy questions as well, but the number of easy questions were very few. But the tough questions were very much. The tough questions quantity was very much in reasoning part. And I won't say that they were actually tough, but they were time consuming. The time they will take much time to answer the questions. If you have to answer a closed puzzle, so you have to read full paragraph. If you have to answer a question of seating arrangement, you have to read a full paragraph. That was very lengthy, and that's why I found it too difficult to answer those questions. So I skipped this part and I went to the English part, the part I was good at. So English part, the morning session of the English part was very easy for me. I answered it quite easily, and I consider that the English part of morning session was quite easy. The synonyms were very easy. The correction was also not too difficult because using elimination technique you could easily answer those questions, and filling the blanks is also not that tough, and jumble words is also not tough. So I consider the English part easy to moderate. There were some tough questions as well. Like I was not able to answer 6 to 7 questions of this part, but I answered 40 to 42 questions of this part easily, very easily. Though I have attempted full 50 questions of this part, but I was confident about only 43. The 7 I have gone with the guess. So that was quite tough for me, answering those 7 questions. But the 43 questions I answered very easily. Those 43 questions of English part. So I consider this part easy to moderate level. Because I come from English literature background, so that part was quite easy for me. So I consider this part easy to moderate level. Now come to the part that is final part, the math part or quantitative aptitudes. So quantitative aptitudes were very difficult for me because I'm not good at math at all. I'm not very good at math. I'm just fine in math. So Answering the math questions, I was not able to answer those questions. I only answered number series and some of the simplifications, or there were some other questions that I was able to answer, but I was not confident about other questions that were lengthy type of questions. I answered only those were short type of questions. I able to answer only those questions, but the other questions, I really didn't know what to do. So I gave it the guess. Somehow I reached the the nearest answer of the question, and I went with that. So that approach I applied in math as well as in reasoning. So those part were tough for me, really tough for me. Though it was a private banking exam, that's why thinking this would be easy. I attempted this, and the result is drastic. I hadn't expected this from Idbi Bank, although I had expected it from SBI or PNB, because they are government level of exams. But I thought that Idbi Bank exam would be easy or moderate. But the exam was tough. It was tricky. It was moderate to tough. The reasoning part was very tough, and the math part too was very tough. And the English part was easy of morning level. And if I speak about afternoon shift, so English part was tough. As I consulted it with my friend, he told me that the English part of afternoon was tough. The synonyms were not easy, and answering other questions as well was not easy. Though reasoning was very tough in all the shifts. Reasoning part was very tough in all the shifts, and it was time consuming. The math part too was tough in all the shifts. Friends, you have to consider this, that IDBI Bank will only take one exam. You should have expected this thing from IDBI Bank, because they will take only one exam. If they would have taken two exams, then the part of prelims would be easy. But you should have taken it as a main exam. It was similar to mains exam. The level of the exam was similar to main exams. Or if we compare it with RRB Bank, or with RRB, or with the RBI, or with the SBI PO exam, so the level of this exam was similar to PO. Okay, so though it was not actually quite similar to PO, but it was very nearest to PO. The toughest level of this exam was nearest to PO exams. So I consider this executive exam. It was a little bit higher than was expected from these exams. But you can't say anything. These things happens in the exams. Sometimes these things happen in exams. So friends, finally now let us talk about the cutoff of this exam. What would be the cutoff of this exam is going to be? So considering the exam pattern of this particular exam, I found the exam was moderate to tough in two parts, like in reasoning as well as in maths. So exam was tough in two parts, reasoning as well as in math. It was moderate, easy to moderate in English language. So the cutoff, according to me, would not be higher than the previous exams. Previously, it was 105 for general category, 95 for OBC, and it was around 90s for SC category, and around 80s or less than 80s was for PWD candidates. Okay, so this particular exam, and this time I think cutoff would be less than the previous exam. It would go less, it would go down. So according to me, for general category, the cutoff would be around 95 to 100. Yeah, it can even be less than that, but take it as 95 to 100. So the cutoff for general category would be 95 to 100 for this particular exam. Considering OBC categories, I think the cutoff would be around 90s for OBC candidates. For OBC candidates, it would be around 90s. And if I talk about SC candidates, so the cutoff for the SC candidates would be around 80 to 85. So it is going to be down in every category. Okay. If I talk about PWD candidates or other reservation categories, so I think the cutoff for this category would be around 70 to 75, or it can even goes to till 80. So I think according to me, it would be around 70 to 75. Though, so the cutoff would be going to down. To be sure, as I see the other reviews, as I see the other comments of the students, they are saying that they have attempted 90 or 60 or 75. So nobody is saying that they attempted 100 or more than 100. Okay, so the majority of students is around 90s or 80s. So I think the cutoff is not going to be higher. It is not going to be higher. So be assured. I think the cutoff that I have told you, the cutoff would be would come out according to this level, I think, as I believe. And once again, I want to tell you that I'm just student of this of this particular exam. I'm not expert of this exam, so giving it as a kind of student. I'm giving this review as a kind of student on looking at the facts and figures of past previous exams. I have come upon this of this review, of this exam analysis, of this cutoff. And if I made any mistake while delivering the lecture, while telling about the cutoffs or the exam analysis, if I did something wrong, please forgive me, because I'm just new in this field. And I'm not going to have a career in this field, because I gave this exam just for to know the level of English language in this particular exam, to help those students who are preparing for this exam, to help them with this particular part. I want to help those students with the particular parts. So that's why I went to this exam, to know the pattern of English language of this part. Okay, so that's why if somebody wants to take help from help of English part in this particular exam, I'm ready to help you. And it's not about banking exam. I gave some other exam as well. I gave any kind of exams where English is a part. So I gave all kind of exams to know the pattern, to know the basics of that particular exam, to help those students who are preparing for that kind of exam. Okay, so that's why I gave the exam. So if I made any mistakes, kindly you should forgive me for that thing. So friends, finally my exam analysis comes to an end. And if you find it helpful, then please like, share and subscribe the channel. And please comment below that how many questions you have corrected right, how many cutoff you are expecting, and how do you rate this exam, or how do you rate this video as well. So kindly give your reviews in the comment section below. And if you like the channel, if you like the video, if you like the content, then please like, share and comment on the video. And please subscribe the channel for further such updates. This much all from this video. Thank you for joining the video, and we will come with another video as soon as possible.